Hundreds of thousands of years ago, massive glaciers were advancing across Europe and Western Asia. The climate was collapsing into a brutal, deep freeze, and the dense forests were shrinking into vast, unforgiving tundras. Look at this frozen glacier landscape. With plant life buried entirely beneath the snow, the daily calories required to keep a human body alive skyrocketed. Finding food out here meant hunting it. For decades, popular culture has pictured the inhabitants of this era as clumsy cavemen, a hunched, solitary brute swinging a wooden club and grunting at the snow. Surviving temperatures that would quickly kill a modern human required brilliant tactics and the coordination of an apex predator. These were the Neanderthals. You can see the sheer physical power built into their anatomy, from the heavy bone structure to the prominent brow ridge on this skull. To understand exactly how capable they were, we have to look closely at their most dangerous daily chore, tracking and killing megafauna. This towering mammoth skeleton shows the terrifying scale of their target prey. They regularly hunted animals like woolly mammoths, wild horses, and bison, creatures exponentially larger and stronger than they were. The ability to bring down these Ice Age titans reveals a strategy built on calculated preparation and engineering, moving far beyond the reach of simple brute force. Before a hunting party ever stepped into the snow, they had to engineer specialized weapons using a complex method we now call Levallois technology. This requires striking a stone core at calculated angles to detach a perfectly shaped, razor-sharp blade in a single motion. By binding the base of this stone flake to a thick wooden shaft with natural adhesives, they created heavy, armor-piercing thrusting spears. Their toolkit extended well beyond weaponry. They carved bone and horn into fine needles, allowing them to sew animal hides together for insulated, tailored clothing. Manufacturing a multi-part weapon system and tailoring thermal gear requires long-term planning and material foresight. They were engineering their survival. Out in the elements, the hunt shifted to tracking massive prey in silence through deep, heavy snow. Their bodies acted as biological machines optimized for the cold. Averaging about 5 feet 5 inches tall, they possessed incredibly compact, muscular frames designed specifically to lock in core body heat. Even their facial anatomy served a thermal purpose. Their broad noses functioned as internal humidifiers, warming the freezing air before it shocked their lungs. These evolutionary traits provided the extreme biological endurance necessary to outlast and relentlessly track their targets across an unforgiving climate. Charging directly at a towering mammoth is a guaranteed death sentence. Direct assault was impossible, so the hunters weaponized the landscape. They utilized a collective herding strategy, forming a perimeter to drive massive animals toward geographical traps like steep cliffs. Pushing an animal into a choke point demanded precise timing, specialized leadership, and nonverbal communication to execute flanking maneuvers without spooking the herd. The final strike was chaotic and high stakes. The hunters closed the distance, moving into immediate danger to deliver lethal blows with heavy thrusting spears. Successfully orchestrating a multi-stage ambush against animals of that size provides proof of high-level cognitive function and intense social cooperation. Securing the kill was only the first phase. The group immediately deployed their sharp stone scrapers to butcher the massive carcass and harvest the dense payload of fat and calories. Here, the operation shifted from hunting to chemistry, utilizing their deliberate, controlled command of fire. They used heavy smoke and low flames to dry and preserve the harvested meat. This halted the rotting process and stockpiled their food supply for the freezing months ahead. Stockpiling these calorie-dense yields allowed the community to bypass the uncertainty of winter, securing their status as master survivalists. All those harvested calories supported a rich, interconnected community inside the cave, sheltered from the elements. We find evidence of this social structure in places like the Shanidar Cave in Iraq. Archaeologists uncovered remains of individuals who had suffered severe, crippling injuries, like a severed arm or a shattered knee, yet continued to live for decades. A person with a shattered knee cannot hunt or forage in the snow. They survived only because the highly capable hunters consistently brought back enough food to feed and care for them. This ability to secure a consistent surplus allowed them to sustain the members of their tribe who could no longer hunt. leaving a legacy of social resilience that remains encoded in our own DNA today.